I have to run. I have an early passenger to pick up today.
Okay. I'll see you at lunch.
Six months ago, after frequent illness, I made a decision to test for HIV, and I tested positive. Knowing my HIV status has helped me manage it by taking one Septrin a day. But the challenge has come with telling my wife. How do you give such difficult news to someone you love? Someone who believes in you so much, it hurts me that I have to keep the truth from Susan. But the big question is, what if she leaves me if I tell her?
I am Nurse Alice. I have been a nurse for the last 10 years. I love my work because it gives me a chance to help people.
Come right in. Please take a seat. I'll be with you in a moment. So Charles, is this your next appointment?
Not really.
What's the problem today?
I have this rash. I tried some ointment, but they didn't help.
It looks like a heat rash. I know something that will clear it in no time.
Okay.
But while you are here, let's talk about positive living. You have to drink safe water. Wash your hands to avoid diarrhea. You also have to sleep under a mosquito net and come for routine checkups. You also have to eat a balanced diet. Do you know what a balanced diet is?
Yeah. A balanced diet is eating foods with all food values during meals.
Good. Then I take it that you eat a balanced diet?
Yes, but sometimes it's hard since my wife does most of the shopping.
Good. Family support is another way one can live positively. This means you have to discuss this with your wife so she can help you eat well.
Yeah, sure. Telling Susan that I have HIV? That would be like buying her a bus ticket to leave me.
Then there's safer sex. You have to use condoms for protection.
How do I suddenly start using condoms with Susan? She will want to know why.
Have you told your wife about your HIV status? It is important to do so you can avoid infection and reinfection.
Sure. You make it sound so easy. We were talking about children. How do I just change topic to I am HIV positive?
You have to avoid drugs and alcohol. Exercise and have enough rest. Remember to take your Septrin every day and keep your counseling appointments.
Sure.
I don't know whether you have any questions, Charles.
Yes. It's about telling my wife. I just can't bring myself to tell her. I mean, how do I even start?
Okay, it's not easy, but the best way is to be open and speak from your heart. You can tell her where you're coming from. Does that help?
Sure. It helps. Very much.
Then go to the window and you'll be given the right drug for that. Come in.
After the counseling session, I still had more questions than answers.
I have been a nurse for about 10 years now, and the session that just ended reminded me of my own sessions before I was introduced to the positive living profiling tool. When we take ourselves out of our counseling session and observe as a detached party, we realize how unhelpful some sessions are to our clients. The biggest challenge with counseling people living with HIV is knowing what information and counseling a client needs at a particular time and focusing on the most important information rather than trying to tell the client everything at one go. And this is where the positive living profiling tool comes in. The tool helps counselors ask questions that guide the counseling sessions. When a client comes in, I simply go to the general profiling questions and ask the client 4 questions. Depending on the answers to these questions, the guide leads to pages, each covering an issue relevant to people living with HIV. So Charles, I can see you're new here. My name is Nurse Adeline.
Yes, someone recommended that I would get the kind of help I need here.
So how can I help you?
I have this skin rash that has refused to go.
It's probably a heat rash. You will see that dispenser on your way out. Give this to him. He'll help you.
Thank you. Thank you, nurse.
Since this is your first time to come for counseling, I'd like to ask you some questions.
Sure.
What do you know about HIV?
HIV is the virus that causes AIDS. But having HIV does not mean you have AIDS. And if I take my Septrins every day, I can delay getting AIDS.
It's clear that Charles' knowledge about HIV is good, so I'll move on to the second question. Have you told your partner your HIV status?
Not really. I mean, no.
How do you feel about that?
I know I have to tell her, but I'm afraid.
What do you fear?
That she will get angry and leave me. Susan likes children so much, she wouldn't bear the thought of not having any children. And she's been talking about them a lot lately.
But you can still have a family. There are precautions you and Susan can take to have HIV-negative children.
Really?
Well, of course. But for that to work, both you and Susan have to work on it together. That means you have to tell her.
Of course.
I understand your fears, but according to you, what are some good reasons why you should tell your wife?
I just don't want to have to hide it from her anymore. And I know that we can help each other deal with this if I tell her.
Telling her would also help you prevent her from getting HIV.
But sister, I don't know how to tell her.
Let's talk about that. When you're ready to disclose, it is important to pick a quiet place, just like the couple in the picture, so as to avoid any interruptions. Look your wife in the eye and have answers ready for any questions she might ask, like, how comes you didn't tell me earlier? Give your wife the chance to speak too. One of the things I like about this tool is that it helps me to remember important things to talk about while keeping the session focused on the client's most pressing need. The illustrations also make explanations easier. But another way you can disclose to your wife is to take her for testing. It's a safe place where you can both receive counseling.
I see.
So, do you feel confident enough to disclose to your wife now?
I think I would rather bring my wife here for both testing and counseling.
It's okay. You can come with her here any morning. I am available. Also, we have a post-testing club that meets here every Wednesday evening. You're welcome to join. Okay, Charles, can you tell me how a person living with HIV can live a healthy and longer life?
Yes.
Let's go over them. Can you name them?
Drinking clean water, washing hands, sleeping under a mosquito net, getting regular checkups, eating well, exercising and resting, taking medicine correctly, avoiding alcohol, keeping counseling appointments, using a condom.
Do you follow these practices?
Some of them, but some are difficult since I haven't told my wife yet, like using condoms.
I see. I believe when she comes here, that will be resolved.
I hope so.
And your Septrin?
I still have some. I don't have a problem with Septrin since I don't have to take it from home.
Okay, please come back with your wife this week and return for a checkup and refill of Septrin in a month's time.
Yes.
Do you have any questions?
No.
Just know you can come and see me anytime, Charles.
Thank you, nurse. It has not been easy to find an excuse to go with Susan to the health center. But soon enough, I found a way. Susan and I do not have any children. I believe telling her I have HIV in the presence of a counselor will help keep Susan's hope of starting a family with me. And that's why I chose to have the nurse help me tell her. If I told her from home, I wouldn't be able to reassure her that we can still be a family because we are still the same two people who fell in love. Being HIV positive does not take that love away. It is in our hearts forever.
HIV services present a challenge to the healthcare delivery system. In particular, it has increased workload for our few health workers that we have challenges with. Particularly HIV counseling is what is most required for our HIV positive patients and clients, and yet the healthcare delivery system in Uganda does not have qualified, counselors. So in order to make it easy for health workers to deliver counseling services, a profile tool has been developed, and we do thank our partners for developing that tool. This tool is particularly useful for saving time and for identifying within that short time specific needs and challenges that each individual client has. The Ministry of Health therefore highly recommends the utilization of this tool by our service providers. And the clients too should know that this tool exists so that they too can participate and get maximum benefits from the utilization of this tool. Thank you.
I feel the sunshine, shine, shine every day. I hear the birds sing, sing, sing everywhere. I feel the sunshine, shine, shine every day. I hear the birds sing, sing, sing everywhere. This is my life, this is my story. I appreciate it because of its beauty. My life will keep going, keep on going, and I will keep smiling with my head high. Unowe bulamu wange, lunowe rugero rwange, agana magara ganje, nomugani gwanje. I feel the sunshine.